Trebinje, city of honey, sun and wine. Old town Trebinje was built on a beautiful, challenging and, as centuries proved, happy place. The oldest antique and medieval fortresses were built in limestone landscape in a green oasis under the Herzegovinian mountain range not far off the Adriatic coast on the banks of the river Trebinje. Surrounding landscape is dry, harsh and almost impenetrable, but the valley in which the river Trebinje slowed down its flow and created picturesque meanders is vast and fertile. That is probably the reason why this area is so rich in numerous archaeological sites which testify about continuous presence of people in this part of the world from the Paleolithic times until today. In its continental neighborhood, Trebinje dominates the area between Mostar, the city characterized by the Oriental cultural heritage, and Cetinje, the city that had been the capital of Montenegro for centuries. In the vicinity of Trebinje, on the Adriatic coast, there are famous tourist cities that are visited by over 1 million tourists every year. One of the most famous ones is Dubrovnik. The city that used to be the independent city-state has extremely rich cultural heritage, which is visible everywhere, even outside the city walls. This city reached its glory in the 15th and the 16th century and was a home to the famous poets, playwrights, painters, musicians, mathematicians and physicists. Today, Dubrovnik is a tourist center of the neighboring Croatia and it is listed on the UNESCO World Heritage List. Southeast from Dubrovnik, there are the tourist jewels of Montenegro. First one is Herceg-Novi, with its fortresses. They kept the entrance to the Bay of Kotor, the longest and the deepest bay in the Adriatic Sea, safe. Herceg-Novi has a lovely climate and unusual biodiversity. The next one is Risan, the city with many monuments from the Roman times, which used to be the capital of the Illyrian queen Teuta. Finally, there is Perast, the city of brave, ingenious and entrepreneurial people who build their Baroque palaces on the shores of the Adriatic. When visiting Perast, one certainly must visit two neighboring islets, Our Lady of the Rocks and St. George. In the deepest point of the Bay of Kotor, under the limestone cliffs of the mountain Lovćen, there is the city of Kotor. Its antiquities testify about the Byzantine masonry visible in the town walls, but also the Venetian rule, present somewhat discontinuously from the 15th until the 18th century. Today, Kotor is on the UNESCO World Heritage List as Natural and Cultural Historical Region of Kotor. In this exclusive and zestful surrounding, Trebinje has also developed as a center of the medieval Travunia, only slower. The people in this area did not give up its tradition, but they adopted experiences from their neighbors. That is particularly visible in the oral tradition, in art, literacy, but especially in masonry. The people of Trebinje like to emphasize their regional distinctiveness and a centuries-long connection with the cultural heritage of the Mediterranean, which in turn had developed a need for communication with other nations and cultures. Despite many conflicts over the borders, the people of Trebinje have strong appreciation for deep cross-border relations. From a modern tourist perspective, Trebinje feels like a tourist jackpot in many ways. Those who want to visit neighboring cities on the Adriatic coast, especially the most famous Dubrovnik, in order to save money and travel to other destinations, they usually book accommodation in one of the Trebinje hotels and make day trips to places they want to visit. Owing to the local charm, mild climate and clean environment, laid-back philosophy and slow-paced life, many people conclude that in the end they spend more time in Trebinje than in any of the cities they initially planned to visit. Trebinje is the right choice for both people who are trying to lose weight and those who love to eat well. The first ones can enjoy natural surroundings as well as organic and healthy food. The latter, those who appreciate gastronomy, will be pleased about local restaurants with fresh ingredients where they can enjoy inexpensive and delicious food. The combination of the two rarely exists in one place, but Trebinje is the exception. The most famous food in the Herzegovinian cuisine is the first-class lamb on a spit. Many people drive more than 100 kilometers for the sole purpose of enjoying the lamb in some of the famous restaurants. Apart from the lamb on a spit, there is a whole range of special dishes cooked under the bell. Herzegovinian cuisine is also very famous for cheese. Among many tasty kinds of cheese, there is a special kind of very young cheese that derives its name from the sound it makes while you are eating it, the squeaky cheese. The lovers of good liquor often combine strong alcohol drinks with cheese matured in oil or full-fat cheese matured in a sack made of sheepskin produced in the northern Herzegovinian villages. Where there's cheese, there's also dry-cured ham, the Herzegovinian prosciutto. The locals describe it as a pure and natural pork, dried in a draft and smoke, thus getting the sense of Herzegovinian flora and both cold mountain and warm and salty sea winds. But that's not all. Trebinje is very proud of its high-quality wines as well. The highest quality wines, awarded with many European medals, are made in around 20 wineries in Trebinje. The most famous are Žilavka and Vranac. Another product the people of Trebinje are very proud of is honey. Its quality is directly linked to the numerous medicinal herbs that grow in Trebinje and on the surrounding hills. Owing to its characteristics, the honey from Trebinje is often used as a medicine. It is sold on a local green market, but it was also sold at many fairs nationally and internationally. Trebinje is an oasis of rest and peace. The city is quiet, there are no traffic jams, and there is no rush typical for modern age. Everything is well balanced and pretty as a picture. Since Trebinje is famous for being a set for many movies, one movie producer referred to it as the film studio in the open. The ambience, which offers much and transforms easily, as well as clean air and incredible visibility, enable cameras to shoot easily, even the moon in the middle of the day, as they say. The sense of past has been preserved in Trebinje. That serves as an inspiration to many visitors who say that if you want to live 10 days the way people lived before, visit Trebinje, because it will bring you to the times of your parents or your parents' parents. However, if you need company, you will certainly find it in the central Café Terrace Platani. That is the meeting place of all people from Trebinje, and probably all the tourists that come to Trebinje end up having a break there in the shade of the old plane trees. Moreover, you will have a chance to see various attractions such as night tournament in the city park, concerts on the central city square, or one of the cultural events organized as a part of the Trebinje Summer Festival. Nature lovers can also enjoy what Trebinje offers. Beautiful nature on the banks of the river Sušica is one of the examples of the clean water and green surrounding still unspoiled by human touch. For those who prefer adrenaline-infused adventure, the Herzegovinian mountains Orjen, Maglic, Zelengora and Voljak offer plenty of activities. As for the fishing and water sports, there are Trebinsko and Bilečko lakes that are the best choice for this type of holiday. But Trebinje still has more. On a small hill above the city, Crkvina, there is a recently built spiritual and cultural complex, Hercegovačka Gročanica, with the charming little church in the middle of it, which is a burial place of the most respected citizen of Trebinje, the poet Jovan Dučić. In the center of the city, there is a church dedicated to Transfiguration, deemed the most beautiful Orthodox church in Bosnia and Herzegovina, with the breathtaking wall painting. In the old town Trebinje, there are two mosques, Osman Pashina and the Tsareva Mosque. They are perfectly melted in the oriental feel of the old town, with its narrow streets and houses with peculiar architecture built closely to one another. In the very center, in the Roman Catholic Cathedral, the divine sound of organ attracts many visitors, not only Catholics. A few kilometers to the west, in the first centuries of Christianity, the monastery Tvrdoš had been built. Orthodox monks of this monastery cultivate grape wine and make one of the most famous wines of this area. Some kilometers further, there is a village Mrkonići, a birthplace of the well-respected Saint Basil of Ostrog, whose name is always accompanied by the deepest veneration. While we were filming this short film about Trebinje as a newly discovered tourist destination, we asked the citizens of Trebinje what, from Trebinje, they would delegate to the UNESCO World Heritage List. There was a lot of interesting answers. This is the most interesting one. This is a town with clear conscience because it depleted nothing of what it had inherited. This will be our message to UNESCO. When you come to Trebinje, we will tell you their answer.